Welcome to the Worship Probs podcast, where we aim to entertain, encourage, and equip worship and tech leaders all around the world. Look, we all know that serving in worship and production is great, but the problems, those are real. Thanks for joining us as we dive into today's episode with our host, Brian Tabor.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 352 of the Worship Probs podcast, live from Experience Conference 25. You're the best, man. You're the best. I always tell people, if we have a home game, it's Experience Conference, right? Because this is where the live podcast was born, and it's been
a minute
years since the three of us have done one together. It's been a while. I love how you part your beard with that microphone.
It's like the Red Sea.
See, I'm doing it to you. I'm doing it to you.
It feels good though, right?
It does.
It's like, you know how you get that little itch in the back of your head and you just gotta like scratch it by saying things you shouldn't.
So I'm here. We've got the big Arrivederci. I was going to call you something. The big Arrivederci. Scott Longear's here. Big Gingy. Jeremy Van Valkenburg is here. So glad to be here. 3 E's: entertain, encourage, and equip. The author of the 3 E's is standing here to my left. That was all you. Do you remember that?
On a napkin, yes.
Most of it was on a napkin. That's good.
Yeah, we have no business being here today.
We don't. Exactly. So do us a favor. If you're in the room especially, or if you're listening to this, jump over to Apple Podcasts, leave us 5 stars and a really nice review. It just helps the podcast get some traction out there, and anything less than 5 stars would be uncivilized.
I have a question though. You said you're skipping in your notes. I just want to help you.
Oh, yeah.
It says nothing crispy. Can we get a little more what that means?
Do we want it crispy or do we not want it crispy?
I have no clue. I can't keep up.
It's your show, man.
We need a kid to tell us if we want it crispy or not crispy. I don't know. I don't know. All right, this is your part. You ready?
Oh, yes. I'm supposed to welcome you and give you a rundown. Hey, guys, I'm Jeremy. As he said, today's going to be a lot of fun, I promise. We're going to be doing our live prayer concerts. We'll be doing the sliding into the DMs where we answer all the questions that we get on the Instagram account. And then at the end, we're going to have you guys come up and ask us anything you want. No question is too crazy or too taboo. We'll probably talk about anything. So we're excited that you guys are here.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So before we go any further, let us tell you about the amazing people at Planning Center. This episode of the Worship Probs podcast is brought to you by Planning Center, an all-in-one software that can help you organize every facet of your ministry, connect with your people, and help your people stay connected to each other. Among the many ways Planning Center can help you do that is through task management. In Planning Center, you can create detailed tasks, organize to-do lists, and even collaborate on those tasks with other team members in real time. Do you have recurring events and projects with long to-do lists? Make a task list template to save time. Have regular tasks you need help keeping up with? Set your tasks to automatically repeat at an interval of your choosing. And the best part is that you can create tasks from absolutely anywhere in Planning Center using the toolbar. You'll find your Tasks tab in Planning Center Home, the place you see all the important updates happening across your account. To learn more and get started today, visit planningcenter.com or click the link in our bio. Okay, so we're here for the first time in a while. How many years you been gone?
I took 2 years off.
You took 2 years off
from just about everything except the church.
You're back.
Yeah, they let me back in. They let me back in.
Back and better than ever. You're speaking on Thursday morning.
Thursday morning, yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thanks, man. Good to be here.
I'm glad you're here. And you took a real walkabout.
We did go on a walkabout. 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
And you're back.
I am back. Yeah, we God called us out to Tulsa, Oklahoma 5 years ago to work at a place called Transformation Church. And while it was cool, didn't have a whole lot of margin for anything but Transformation Church. And so we're now in Nashville, Tennessee, and work for a church there. And God's opened up margin. And so he just put it on my heart to have a place to go where I'm not mixing, I'm not leading, teams. Just come love on people. So we're back.
Love that. Well, I'm glad you're both back. So we're thrilled to be here. Love Experience Conference. And we do this show in the car called Worship Karaoke. Have you ever watched an episode of Worship Karaoke? Follow us on YouTube at Worship Probs. We got new episodes, shooting some stuff this week, shot some stuff in Nashville.
We did.
With Big Gingy. So we got some more stuff coming. So make sure you follow us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel at Worship Probs. And sign up for our email newsletter. I told you that was coming in January, and that didn't happen. But I do promise it's going to come one of these days. It is actually coming. So I promise that's on the way.
I was walking through the conference, 1,600 people, I think. The largest conference, 15-year anniversary, all that.
Wow.
And every single person stopped me and said, "When are we doing prayer concerns? When are we doing prayer concerns?" Every person, that's all they said. They didn't ask any other question. That's all they said. Well, they asked, "Where's Brian Tabor? And what about prayer concerns?" So,
And where do I get a cronut?
Well, there is that. But Brian, take us in to our favorite portion of the show called Prayer Concerns.
Prayer Concerns is brought to you by DC Pro LVA. They specialize in transforming worship experiences with professional lighting, video, and audio solutions tailored for churches. Their team understands the unique production needs of churches and delivers cutting-edge equipment and personalized service to enhance services, events, and special gatherings. From vibrant LED walls and crystal clear audio systems to dramatic lighting designs, DC Pro LVA provides reliable, volunteer-friendly solutions that amplify your message and create a welcoming atmosphere for your congregation. Choose DC Pro LVA to elevate your church's worship environment with seamless production support. Their thorough design approach and dedicated team ensure your services run smoothly, engaging worshipers and fostering connection. Visit dcprolva.com or find them through the link in our bio to explore how their customized solutions can equip and empower your team, making every moment of worship unforgettable. Partner with DC Pro LVA today to create a powerful and inspiring experience for your church. Absolutely. We love Prayer Concerns, proudly brought to you by our friends at DC Pro LVA. We love them. So Prayer Concerns. You get roasted by your congregation. They didn't like what you wore. They didn't like the songs you picked. They didn't like the lighting. They didn't like how loud it was. All manner of comments. So if you have them, send them in to us. And I know you have. If you've been in ministry for a week, you got a prayer concern already. So send them to us. You'll always be anonymous. And doing these live is literally one of my favorite things in my whole life.
I'm told that there's one of these that you've been holding on to.
3 years.
For 3 years. For just this moment.
For just this moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's important that you know, I read them as they come. Okay? Tighten your halos. Okay? I just read them as they come. Okay?
So steal that?
You can. Okay. You can. Okay, prayer concern number 1. I was told on a prayer request card after my first Sunday on staff to, quote, get the guitar hero off the stage. We want the orchestra back. Yeah.
The guitar hero.
Yeah, the guitar hero. A little savage there, right?
That's pretty good, yeah.
That's pretty good.
You're supposed to talk in the microphone, so that way people can hear you. I do tech for a living, just in case you were wondering.
Oh my gosh. Okay, number 2, prayer concern number 2. We had one of our student ministry kids that gave us a 1-star Google review that just said, Michael Jordan wasn't there. Michael Jordan wasn't there. 1 star.
Was he advertised to be there?
I guess it's good if you even got 1 star, because it could be worse if MJ wasn't there. You know? Okay, number 3, prayer concern number 3. We had an older churchgoer sit in the second row with her fingers in her ears all during worship. After service, she left a card that said, God's not dead, he's not deaf either.
That's amazing.
The creativity, man. It's so fantastic. Okay. So, what is this, number 4? Is this number 4? I lost track, man. Okay, number 4. This is a handwritten connection card, okay? I wish I could put this on the screen for you. So under name, it says blind guy. And
wait, he wrote this?
yeah, somebody wrote this. It says blind, under name, it says blind guy. The address is, oh, you wonder why that's my name. And then it says, because your god-awful lights blinded me and everyone else today.
Oh my goodness.
That's amazing.
I am
Blind guy.
shooketh on that one.
That's from Blind Guy.
Blind
Daniel's
guy.
back. We got to... That was Connell's. Okay, here's the last one. The bottom of the pudding cup,
Yep.
prayer concern number 5. Now, as I said earlier, I read them as they come, okay? This is one I've been saving for you.
Oh, wow.
Okay, for this moment. And it says, there was a worship leader at my church that had a t-shirt on that apparently was a little too short and showed his stomach when he raised his hands. The prayer request card said, I can't believe it, less belly pubes, please. Can't make this stuff up, man.
That poor guy now, he's probably up there leading worship now going,
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so those are prayer concerns, fam. Send yours in to us. They don't have to be that savage, but send them in to us. Or if you've got a ridiculous decline, unusual song request, we started a new one this year. If you've ever had somebody bring their own instrument to a service and just play it from the seats, send those.
okay, hold on, can I tell a story?
Yes.
Okay, so for 11 years, this is Pastor Randy Miller, we worked together at a church here in Florida. And we were sitting in the green room one day, and there was a South African gentleman that was in the church. And he comes in, he's like, wow, what were we doing, like Shout to the Lord or something like that day? And he just goes, Pastor Randy, can I play my flute with you? And he was just like, Randy was so kind. He's like, no. He goes, I don't think we're going to be able to do that, you know, and whatever. And he goes, besides, you probably don't even have it with you, so I don't want you to go home. And he goes, no, Pastor Randy, I have my flute. So he goes to the side. It wasn't even pitched in the same key as the song, but he literally just like Anchorman. Just, oh, here's my flute right here. Yeah, flames. Yeah, flames.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So any of those, send them to us. You can DM those to us on the socials or go to the website worshipleaderprobs.com. Just click on prayer concerns up in the menu and send those to us. Well, one of the things we love to do, we get questions all the time in our DMs. And one of the things we love to do is unpack those on the podcast. And we do that in a segment called Sliding into the DMs.
Since 1988, New Life Ministries has offered compassionate and empowering solutions to those who find themselves in life's difficult places and who are missing what God desires for their lives. Family, friends, and churches want to help, but aren't always equipped to care for those dealing with problems like addiction, pornography, infidelity, anxiety, anger, fear, depression, and hurts from the past. Do you ever find yourself feeling anxious, fearful, angry, or even depressed in your everyday life or ministry?
Or as a leader in your ministry, do you want to be better equipped to walk with those around you who are struggling? We're partnering with New Life Ministries to provide resources, help, and support for you in any season you face, so you are best equipped to serve and lead your ministry. Look for more info to come and click the link in our bio to discover more ways that New Life Ministries can help.
So far and away, the most questions we get are about volunteers. And it's never, I have too many volunteers, I don't know what to do with them all. It is always, we need more volunteers. Do you have ideas that we can try to recruit volunteers? Lay it on them.
Yeah. I have twice walked into churches where volunteering was basically gone. The church that I'm at now, we have 6 campuses all around Nashville. The main campus runs 3,000 people. It's a big church, right? When I came on staff 2 years ago, all of the volunteers on a Sunday were a paid audio contractor, our technical director on staff, and his mom and dad. And that's what we were down to. And so when we came in, we knew we needed to build new volunteers. And so something I had learned at my previous church was culture is felt before it's ever heard. So build a culture within your volunteer team that forces people to want to be a part of it. And so how we began doing that with production was we literally started just loving on people. So we loved our volunteers really well. We started reaching out to those that were no longer a part of it, took them to coffee, we spent time with them. And then when people started to come back into it, they began to go something feels different here. This is feeling more like family. Our whole team, we've got a document to make sure everyone is now getting cared for. And if I make a phone call, do an email, a coffee, we log that so we can look through and go, oh, you know what? So-and-so, they haven't been, nobody's even reached out to them in 3 months. We probably need to check in on those guys. And then another thing we started doing is at all of our campuses, 20 minutes before the service starts, all of production gathers together for just relational time. It's literally, we ask one question. We're not preparing devotion. Hey, what did God do in your life this week? And people are starting to share. And at first it was nothing. And now 10 minutes is not enough time for us to see everything happen. So as the culture has grown healthier and it's become more of a feeling like a family, we've went from having to figure out oh no, camera 7 can't be here. Now it's oh no, we have too many camera 7s for this month. So building the culture that you would want to be a part of is helpful. And then even just in the area that you're in, whether it's music, whether it's worship music, or even production. So I'll speak in our area is are you dotting all your I's and crossing your T's and creating an effective atmosphere where people can come in and it's this feels professional. I'm being set up for success. Those things have come together where we're onboarding 3 to 5 people every week now, and we're not even talking to anybody anymore because people are seeing the difference in the change, and it's something now they want to be a part of.
Man, I love that. I love that.
Yeah, I would just add, you're probably not going to get a lot of sympathy from your senior pastor because he doesn't understand what it's like to recruit volunteers because he typically doesn't. He has staff, right? So it's a little bit different.
That's good.
And it's one of the perks of the job, we'll say. But I think one thing that we've tried to do is to honor our volunteers. There's a couple of ways of we need more volunteers, but the greatest volunteers that you have are the ones that you have right now. So as you celebrate their culture and make them feel cared for and they're part of the team, you're not gonna deal with a whole lot of turnover in the middle of that. And so we try to celebrate them as much as we can, both public, man, our volunteers that are run student ministry, isn't it great what they're doing? Our staff, or whatever you want to call them. Some churches call them difference makers, which I don't know, it's a little bit creative, I guess, a little bit different, but then even individually and personally. So I try to make it a point. I'm going through the hallway backstage, and our community team is setting up communion, and I'll just say, thanks for serving. And at first I was that just sounds so weird. But I say it to every person that I can run, thanks for serving today, or good serving with you today, good being with you today.
Love that.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the big stuff. You'll do some gatherings of volunteers to celebrate them, but also individually. Secondly, I think we also believe that we're almost apologetic, hey, you probably don't want to do this, but I really need some help on camera 2 or front of house. You would be really doing us a favor. And I think that's a poor way to look at it, because what you're inviting somebody in to express what could be a God-given gift to them. Like, so you're not asking for a favor, you're actually unlocking some of the kingdom in them. And I think everybody just wants to be asked. You know, why are you not serving? Nobody asked me to serve.
That's right.
You know, Willow Creek built an entire congregation on bringing people with people. Like, who are you inviting? And so if you can have that invite culture along to who you're bringing with you in the multiplication thing and not coming alone, even if I know some places are setting up like you have to have an apprentice under you at every level. Who are you? Whether you're on staff, like you're running front of house on staff, who are you apprenticing? Yep. Right, and then all in everything that somebody's doing. Who are you building? Well, nobody yet, but I've identified some people. Yep. So it's difficult, it's hard, but when it's working right, it's pretty amazing.
Amen. Amen.
I love when that idea of when you said it was good serving with you today, because like language creates worlds, right? Like, I mean, the Lord spoke things into existence. And so when you use language like that, like it makes it feel, oh, we're in this thing together. It's not just, oh, well, I'm doing all the work and there's the pastor drinking his coffee, you know, like that idea of like, we're in this thing together. I really like that.
Yeah, it's so good.
I'm actually going to steal that. Thank you.
Thanks, Zach. Thank you, Scott. So what I wish we had is a silver bullet for you you fire it once and you have all the volunteers you're going to need forever and ever. Amen. But that doesn't really exist. And there's no neutral in leadership, right? So you've always got to be working this. You've always got to be identifying. And people finding that they're appreciated and valued, that's everything, right? And so if you find somebody on your team who maybe isn't valuing the culture or whatever, you might have to step in and have a conversation, you know, and that's an important part of your on-ramp process. Like, this is what a bullseye looks like to be on the team. This is what we hope to see from all of our volunteers. This is our culture. We're going to protect that culture because we value our volunteers. So, always no neutral. Keeping your eye, on that always, right?
Yeah, I just add one more thing. I think because of the pressures of every Sunday, and we're like, I really need a guitar player. I really need a guitar player. You probably got one. He's probably 12 years old, or she's probably 12 years old and never touched a guitar yet. Mm-hmm. But if you start developing them, 5 years from now, you may have the best servant that you've ever had. And so it's a long game, and I know it's sometimes we're like, I don't have time to do that because the churn is coming. But in trying to look at that, how can you develop people over time? I think.
There's a great example of that. My friend Elijah Ekdahl, he was 11 years old when he started doing lighting for a church in Arizona. He is now 22, and he is the broadcast lighting director for Gateway in Dallas, and just programmed the Brandon Lake tour because somebody saw something in him when he was 11 years old. And like, Elijah comes in and helps us every once in a while. And like, I have macros on our lighting console that other LDs who've been doing this for a long time are like, oh, well, that's why I never thought to do that. Yeah, he was 12 when he did that. You know what I mean? Like, when you see those things, like, pour it because you don't know who you could be helping to mentor.
Yeah, I think we get in a hurry because of everything. One of the reasons is everything we see online is bells and whistles and flash, and we want every next electric interview we do to be with Lincoln Brewster or Lincoln Brewster's little brother. You know what I mean? Like the idea of investing in somebody at an early age, I think we sometimes get in a hurry and we jump over that step. But that's a huge, I think it was Paul Balash who says it's better to not have that position filled than it is to have it filled by the wrong person. Right. You know? So volunteers, man. You guys all hearts clear on the volunteer thing?
I think we solved that problem.
You did.
For everybody.
On to world hunger.
My gosh.
You missed me, didn't you?
I do miss you. Okay, the second one we brought with us, and again, we want to hear from you in a second, so get your questions ready. If you could come up to this mic in the middle. And we got a question that's just said, burnout. This feels more like a job than a ministry to Jesus. I'm missing the passion. Help. What do you think?
What was it that Levi said yesterday? Don't base your decisions on a feeling when it started as a calling. So you have to go back to your calling. I was called to this. Most people listening, most people in the room, I think were highly ambitious, probably with mixed motives, to be honest with you. I went into ministry with mixed motives. I wanted to make a lot of Jesus. I kind of wanted to make a lot of myself too, you know? And so with that comes a drive that we feel like we do, you know? And you have to stop and go like, why do you do this? And I ran into a friend who was like, man, I haven't had a vacation in 5 years, man. I'm like, well, you're an idiot. You know, who's like you're bragging on that, and who's making you do that? So I get frustrated sometimes because I'm like, you know, I'll complain to my wife, and I'm like, man, I got this. Has been 12 days straight. And she's like, well, who makes your calendar? You know, now you get a lot of freedom in ministry. You know, who does make your calendar? I realize you have expectations underneath of that, but if you're in a place where it's feeling more like a job than a calling, I think you have to take a hard look at everything you're doing. And maybe it's some recruiting that you need to do. Maybe it's some hard conversations with some of your senior staff just to go, I'm on a trajectory that's not super healthy. I don't want it to get worse. I'm not whining, you know that. But I'm just wondering if there's some things that you can help me prioritize here, because I need to get a little bit of mental space, right? You're probably violating Sabbath, probably violating your quiet time with the Lord, right? Because you're pushing through trying to get stuff done. This was actually really personal to me because 2 years ago, I was on a sabbatical. Just every 7 years we get it, so it wasn't a forced sabbatical. But when I came off of that, the Lord just said, you're on the road. I was closer than I thought to burnout. And he said, you're going to stop doing everything except church ministry. And I fought him on that, and I did it. And what I found was, if you want to get real personal, like I was scared to do it because I was scared that I wasn't going to be enough. Yeah. And I found out that I was enough because I'm a son of the King and nothing else matters. Yeah. And I was trying to fill it up with this pitiful stuff of like, if I accomplish this or I do this, maybe Brian will like me. Maybe this person, and it just comes back to identity in that. And so I would strip that away and I would just ask one question on repeat: why? Why do I feel burnout? Because I'm working too much. Why am I working too much? Well, because my senior pastor is a jerk. Well, okay. Why do you feel like you need to do this? And you get down to the why, and you might be able to just to kind of deconstruct some things to rebuild it. Final thing I would add is you have to unapologetically get yourself in places that fill your tank. Okay? Some places that's hunting, some people that's out in the woods, some people that's like I'm taking a trip with my girlfriends. Sometimes it's places like this. And I spend a pretty crazy amount of time and an obscene amount of money putting myself in places that fill me up, where the Lord is moving. And I come back to our church and I'm ready to run through a wall, man. Now, sometimes when I get back, if you pattern that, you'll get some complaint. I did anyway. You know, a staff person is like, you're gone all the time. You're just gone all the time. Oh, that can touch some things in you, right? And I said, well, you can have me 100% of the time at 75% capacity, or you can have me 75% of the time at 100% capacity. Wow. So you just have to put yourself, and for the people, that's different. It might be here, this might fill your tank. Man, you do everything you can to get in rooms where God is moving and fill you up, and don't make any excuses for it, because you'll be a better leader, and it will help you. That's what's helped me to keep that fire just kind of rolling.
Yeah, that's so good.
Okay, so I hope I don't get chopped for this statement. I think that's what the kids say today is chopped. If you're burned out, it's on you. I mean, the first thing, like Scott said, are you taking a Sabbath? My audio director at my last church brought this up. I never thought of it this way, but that's a commandment. So not taking a Sabbath would be equal to murder in God's economy. I want you to think about that. If you are not taking a Sabbath, you may as well be out just doing whatever, because it's on the same level as the other 9 commandments. So that's how important a Sabbath is. Are you in the Word? Are you going out and doing those things? And if those things are yes, and you're still on burnout, and then you look, well, my senior pastor is this, then set your value so somebody else doesn't set it for you. If you don't know your worth in those moments, then somebody else is going to tell you what you're worth. And let me remind you what you're worth: the blood of Jesus. You are a son and a daughter of the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. If somebody is spiritually abusing you by making you work leave. You have to care so much about who you are and what Jesus did for you on the cross that nobody can undervalue that. Because here's, at the end of the day, if you're getting to a place where I'm burned out, things aren't gonna change, they're treating me this way, and you go, you know what? You're not gonna treat me this way because my Father's proud of me. My Father is already approving me. So God will bless that obedience somehow. Like if there's anything I've noticed in my own walk, and Scott can probably tell you some theology, like God seems to bless obedience. Now, it's not, I'm gonna do this and look at me, I got a Mercedes. Like that's not what it is. But in some way, I feel like God, there's like a little bit of blessing that comes with your obedience. So like fight for your worth. If you are burned out, come forward, fight for yourself. Don't ever wear like 5 years, I haven't taken a vacation. Like there at one point, I worked at a church where I think I did like 52 straight days without a day off. And my family paid the price for it. My son crying because daddy's not home. And I thought I was doing this big thing for the kingdom. But what I was doing was tearing my son down. And so like you have to fight for your value, and don't you dare let somebody else set a value for you that is less than I am a son of the King of Kings.
Come on, man. Come on. I have nothing to add to that. Nothing to add to that. Anybody in the room have a question? Something you're tackling at your church, wrestling with at your church? Everything's phenomenal.
What about PG-13 jokes? Does that work? Sorry. Allie, edit that out.
Any questions? Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah. Lead pastor Vaughn Stafford. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
There we go. Vaughn Stafford, 1 2 1 2. Vaughn Stafford, Columbus, Mississippi, First Methodist. How do you go if you're in a affluent church? How do you transition from being hire it all done to moving more toward, volunteers is obviously a major motif here, but helping to come alongside a volunteer culture alongside of a hire it done culture?
Yeah.
So I just did this.
Absolutely. That's a good one.
I went from a production budget with multiple commas down to 97% less than that, and now to run 6 campuses and not 1. And so we had to use volunteers. First things first, I had to break my pride. And then next thing after my pride was broken, I personally believe excellence is a sliding scale. So if I do lighting and I give it my 100% and it's excellence for Jeremy, it's probably 5% of what Daniel can do on a console, because Daniel has an anointing to be on a lighting console, right? But if it's my all and it's my excellence that I gave, it's gonna be cool, but it may not be as good as somebody else at a higher level of doing things for me. So the first thing I did was ask my leadership, hey, this is what I have in my head. Is that actually what you guys want? And I realized when I first got to Crosspoint, I was holding us to a higher level of excellence than what the church wanted. Now, there are times where I do have to lead up, and when it comes to planning and things, but like, I'm also not gonna be a stickler of, if that mix isn't perfect, you'll never mix in this room ever again. If the mix is tolerable and it's impactful and people got their hands on the air, that's now the win. Not the win being where I came from. It was, this should be as good as a Vegas experience. That's the vision. That's what we were going for. And so we held those lines. But now where I'm at, that's not the priority. It's people getting baptized. That's our priority at Crosspoint. And so like, as I learned to be okay with something that I thought could be better, it has allowed me then to be able to bring more people along. And now I know I'm not trying to get you to be the next Lee Fields, the next whatever. Let's be good enough for what Crosspoint's looking for. And then let's look around. Are people engaging? Are they worship? Like, that's now what excellence looks like, more than just, are you the best at what you do?
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
I think the only thing I would add is you're really talking about a culture shift. And so I would probably present this through a series or through weaving in and out of ministry of believers, right? That everybody really is a minister. And even redefining, like, so the way I look at it is like, wow, we get paid to do this full time, right? If you're in full-time ministry, you get paid to do this full time. Not better. It's just like, hey, you're able to do this. Other people can't, but we're all doing the same thing, just different levels. And so I would probably try to like knock that down. I mean, it's pastor, and then you have a ladder, and then it's volunteer that are right here, But we're all on the same team, and we're all rolling together. So I would keep using that language. I would look. I can't remember the name of the resource. But back in 9/11, if anybody was doing ministry in 9/11, everybody did a money grab after 9/11. And so we ended up either freezing staff or having to lay off staff. And so it forced us, I think, actually in a healthy way, to lean into volunteers, which we should have been leaning into anyway, because if a church has too much money, the easy thing is let's just hire it done, which I don't think is a great kingdom thing. But it forced us, the global church, to really try to figure that out. And I think there were some resources that came out of Willow Creek at the time that was, how do you really lean into more volunteer development and leadership across the board, knowing that we're not going to be able to hire and get this done. So you may kind of Google around and see if you can find something on that.
Love that. I love that. I would even, in the model of hiring, are the people you're hiring people you could use to apprentice volunteers, even if it's like contracted players or whatever. You got a drummer, electric player, whatever. Hey, I'm going to put 2 volunteer players with you, run them through your preparation process. What are you doing to get better? How are you moving the needle every week? I think those are, at least in worship, and you could do that in production as well.
I mean, that's sort of the model that we have at Crosspoint. So we do have a staff lighting director, a staff auditing director, a staff technical director, but they lead the volunteers within their area. Obviously, Crosspoint's big, 6 campuses, all the things, but like, there's many weeks where those guys aren't actually touching gear. They're literally just at a campus with the people, and they're helping learn and grow their skills.
Love it. Love it. There was another hand. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'm Preston Jones from Arkansas. First off, this is a little less serious question, just about the podcast. Love what you guys do. I drive a lot, traveling a lot, so anytime I can listen to something besides just music, you guys are one of the first ones I turn on, and it's
Means
awesome.
the world, man.
It passes the time quick. Just about the podcast, obviously the Instagram account started first. Podcast came into the scene when, I guess for all of you, but primarily you, Brian, being the head of this thing, when did you kind of see, was there a specific moment where you was like, this thing is going to be big, or was there a certain time where you thought, man, this thing is really taking off? When did you kind of realize and come to that point that this is, going to be your full-time thing?
Yeah, boy, that was not in the master plan on any whiteboard in my life, for sure. I can remember, started the Instagram in 2016, and it was just therapy for me. I just needed to vent a little bit about being a worship pastor. A lot of the problems I created for myself, not all of them, but a lot of them. And so I was anonymous for a long time. I can remember coming here and making memes about Experience Conference while at Experience Conference and getting comments and DMs like, are you actually here? Let's meet in the vendor area. I was like, yeah, I'll be right over. Nope.
Psych.
There were like a couple of people in my life who knew I ran this, and nobody really noticed. It was really purely therapy for me. And then I remember being with Jeremy at, we joined the ministry team for Experience Conference at the same time. And we were sitting next to each other at a dinner one night and having a great conversation. And I said, man, I need to tell you something. And I honestly think he thought I was going to confess
I did.
like a really deep sin, and we need to go to the altar right now. And I was like, hey, I see that you follow this Instagram account. And he goes, yeah, I do. I was like, well, it's me. And he didn't believe me.
Not even, no, there's no way.
And that's just, if we were to go hang out, I'm not a like center of the room guy. Like I'm going to be over there probably making fun of the people in the center of the room. Probably why I started a meme page. So Jeremy was like, dude, you need a podcast. And this was in probably
you showed it to me in 2017.
2017, you saw it. And so we started talking, and then we thought, how cool is it that we got a worship leader and a production leader together? I mean, that's pretty cool. And then along the lines, we told Scott, and we're like, ooh, now we got a senior pastor in the mix. That's awesome. Like, because those relationships can get strained, they can get frayed a little bit. And so how cool for us to be together and talk about this stuff together. And so I remember people always were asking,
Who are you? How do you know the thing you posted today is exactly what we're dealing with in our church? How did you know? And I'm like, well, I knew because that's what we're dealing with in our church. So I'm you in my church. You just don't know my name. And so does your team know? Does your pastor know? Like, just questions like that all the time. And so we came up with this, like, I don't remember. The Instagram was maybe, I don't remember how many followers we had, 20.
20, some 22,
Yeah, maybe
something
20,
like that.
some 1,000 followers. And so I was like, all right, you get us to 50 and I'll tell you who I am. 50,000 followers. And I looked at Kim. I was like, that'll never happen. And I'm safe. I'm totally safe forever. And then the community just took it from there, and it happened. And so I remember the three of us it was Father's Day of 2019, I think. We did a reveal, and my huge fear was that people were just going to start unfollowing. Like, as soon as they found out,
Because some
it's
people
like,
thought, like, oh, it's Crowder. or
Yeah,
some
exactly.
people-
It's like just some random guy from Indiana. People are just going to start unfollowing, like, constantly. And so, thankfully that didn't happen. And along the way, it's just really been God doing what God does in so many instances, man. I would love to tell you I had this big master plan. None of it has been in the master plan. I mean, you've been here for every day of it. And mostly at the beginning, it was me just giving my phone to her and saying, hey, is this funny? And she would look at me like really only a spouse can, through eyes of embarrassment and disappointment. She would be like, you're still doing this?
She had to remind herself, I chose this.
And so then, we started getting these DMs. And again, I was anonymous. And these DMs would literally send you to your knees in prayer. Like, these are heartfelt, unbelievable struggles. So I took this to her. I was like, look at this DM I got. And she was like, now I get it. It'd be just like God to take all these random things that you're passionate about and put them under this one weird banner. And now I get it. Now I get it. And they're sending these to an anonymous Instagram account. My pastor won't speak to me. I got people on my team having an affair. I don't know what to do. Like, and this one we get every week. My pastor found out I played guitar, and he put me in charge of worship. Where should I start? And I'm just like, oh gosh. And so that's when I think I started to get a glimpse of the real ministry potential. I mean, we love to laugh. And we'll always do that. But we also want to be about the deeper issues of ministry. Like, okay, this thing that made you laugh, how do you lead through that? How do you lead prior to that, so maybe you don't have to walk through that, And so, yeah, anything you would, and you guys,
I would just add,
you guys have
that
been here for
it's been a great example to watch the blessing of the Lord, and I think it's because of a long obedience in the same direction. And Brian carries with him an incredible amount of humility and obedience and love for Jesus. And I've watched him walk through really, really hard things, because it's not all sunshine, right? And I've watched him walk through it with integrity. And I think the Lord has just continued to say, I can trust you with this. And so I'm going to put more on. So you've been I'm going to get emotional, man. You've been a great example to me and to us of, like, this is what it looks like to steward the kingdom of God in a right way. Because I watched him have information where he's like, I could burn these people down, and I'm not going to do it. Like, I want to do the right thing at the right time. And the Lord just continues to bless that, which is a great lesson for us in the hard times. Like, let's just keep walking on in this. So.
I feel like I shouldn't love how uncomfortable you are right now. But I hope you hear it and receive
Group
it.
hug, anybody?
No, but I hope you hear it and receive it. You've done a lot for the kingdom, bro.
You guys are the best. And I don't win those battles every day. I'm just like everybody else. But I think we talked about, the three of us, we had a brainstorming meeting in Paradise back in the beginning. We were thinking, okay, like, what's God doing here? And really, one of the words that came out of that day was steward. I'm a steward. we're all just stewards of this. This is something God's doing, and this community gives as much to me as I will ever give to you. So really, really, really thankful for all of you. Well, I think we did it.
Wow, we did.
We did. You guys, thank you so much for coming to episode 352.
Yeah, guys, just remember to hit subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. And please do us a favor, go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star crispy rating with a nice review. That is a huge help to us in spreading the word about the podcast.
Hey, and thanks for following us on all the socials. It's at Worship Probs on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and YouTube, at Worship Leader Probs on TikTok, where Brian's going to post some new dancing videos to come up very soon. And then join the Worship Probs community group on Facebook. It's a great place to post questions with people that are in the same lane that you are and get a lot of community going on. They're also over on X. Look for the hashtag Worship Leader Probs.
Is it true that if we get to 150,000 Instagram followers, you're going to break out the gloves and do some Kathy Tricoli? Karaoke.
Sure.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
You heard it here.
I'll do that. I'll do that. Hey, huge thanks to our friend Ali Bahanos.
Ali Be Creative.
Right there.
Ali is a world changer, man. In whatever world she walks into, changes for the better. And so,
Hence, world changer.
So like, you're such a. So if you need social media help, you need coaching, you need branding, you need websites, anything under that creative banner.
Drumming.
Allie's your girl. Yeah, Allie B Drumming. That's the next spoke in the wheel, right?
Watch out, Tony Royster Jr.
So hit up Ali Bahanos, and we'll link her and tag her as well. She'd love to help you, and 10 out of 10, 12 out of 10. 12 out of 10.
12 out of 10.
12 out of 10 recommend. And huge thanks to my friend Scott Hoke for our intro. Guys, we love you. Thanks so much for listening to 352. Until next time, deuces.
See ya.
Arrivederci.